Hello YouTube, Mountainous here, and I have a special book review video for you today. Today I'll be covering a book called Becoming a Ninja Warrior, a quest to recover the legacy of Japan's most secret warriors. This book was written by Martin Faulks. And this book is not just an adventure book. This book will teach you many skills, including unarmed combat, meditation, stealth, bugs and debugging, Kuji-in, disguise, ninja strategy, sensing danger, mind control, smoke bombs, explosives, escape and evasion, the art of invisibility, caltrops, and much, much more. On the inside cover, I want to read this paragraph to you. Join the amazing journey as one man travels the globe in search of the secret art of the ninja. Discover the mystical trials of earth, air, fire, and water used by great ninjutsu masters to teach their students the secrets of the elements. If one man can really walk through flames and over hot coals, face deadly mountain drops without fear, overcoming pain to resist the freezing waterfall beating down upon him, and face his darkest fears in terrible solitude, perhaps then he may earn the title of ninja. And in the back of the book, there's a picture of Martin Faulks. And a little paragraph I want to read to you. It says, Martin Faulks has been a student of the martial arts since he was 5 years old. He is both a national martial arts champion and a regional fencing champion. He holds black belts in both the Korean martial arts, Kuk-Sol-won, and Bujinkan Budo Taijutsu, Japanese ninjutsu, and is also proficient in the mystical disciplines of China, including Tai Chi, meditation, Qigong, and the legendary form of Yi Jin Jing. Now, before I start talking about what's really in the book, below the video in the description, there'll be a link to where you can purchase the book. But it's got a really nice cover. And I want to say thank you to Martin Faulks for sending me this book to review. But if you take this paper cover off, the book is a hardback book with really nice binding and gold writing. It's just a real nice quality book. So now let's get into the book review. Now the book is divided into 7 chapters. 1, Fakes, Thieves, and Jokers. 2, Wind in the Willows. 3, Darkness. 4, Master of the Four Elements. 5, A Time in the Desert. 6, Journey to the East. And 7, The Return from Japan. Now there's a small introduction that talks about basically what the word nin and ja and ninjutsu actually means. And it talks about how the ninjas were not only masters of stealth and stuff, but how they were able to endure and how they didn't have to follow the rigid code of the samurai. And then there's a little bit of kanji here. Now I'll talk about what's in chapter 1. The first chapter, Fakes, Thieves, and Jokers, talks about how as a kid he had unfulfilled desires to want to train in the ninja arts, and personal stories of his on how he ended up becoming a ninjutsu practitioner. It talks about different books he read and his passion, and how he found Budo Taijutsu, when he learned the 18 skills of the ninja, and he was searching for 2 special instructors who were ex-special forces. And it also talks about once he found them and why the chapter is named what it is. And then it gets into like lock picking and how to enter facilities and stuff like that. Now I'll tell you about chapter 2. Now in chapter 2, Wind in the Willows, we start talking about Shinobi Ashi, which is ninja stealth walking. And we get into each method has a paragraph and the Japanese name for it, like Yoko Ashi is cross step, Nuki Ashi is sweeping step. There's pictures there showing how it's done. I have one Stephen Hayes books that shows this information. It talks about crawling, disappearing into the shadows, escape and evasion, and then it gets into the 16 fists of the ninja, such as you learn in the Bujinkan, Shutoken, Boshiken, Shikanken, and there's a little paragraph about each of the 16 fists of the ninja. Now on to chapter 3. Now chapter 3, called Darkness, gets into using fear as an ally, knowing the mind of others, getting to know people, spy technology, disguises, impact grenades, caltrops, and much more. This chapter is packed full of information, and if you want to know it, you need to purchase the book. Remember, the link is below the video. Now on to chapter 4. Now chapter 4, Master of Four Elements, starts talking about the author's relationship to Stephen Hayes, Toshindo, the Quest Dojo, Zen Buddhism, starts getting into ninjutsu and the 5 earth elements, Chi, Sui, Kafu, Ku, which is earth, water, fire, wind, and void. And it starts getting into some of the different kamais and the meditative postures. The kamais are Shizen, Ichimonji, and Jumonji no Kamae. It starts getting to the meat and potatoes of Taijutsu. There's some cool pictures showing the Kamae, and then there's a picture here of the author with Stephen Hayes. Now we'll talk about chapter 5. Now chapter 5, A Time in the Desert, the author talks about his personal journey into the Godai training, talks about Yamabushi, mountain dweller training, where they followed the path of the Shigundo and gained magical powers through hardships. And he talks about his personal training that he went through for the trial of earth, water, fire, wind, and void. Now this is a chapter like no other I've read in other ninja books. He talks about his personal journey of each of these trials he had to go through, and it's really some amazing stories. Now chapter 6, A Journey to the East, talks about the author's flight to Japan and his experiences. It talks about him being lost in Japan in Noda City, where it's the home of Soke Hatsumi, the founder of the Bujinkan, and then him actually finding Soke Hatsumi. It talks about the secret of the Sanshi no Kata, the basic 3 hearts pattern, and it talks about each one of the Sanshi no Kata. It goes into dodging shuriken, the Kian Happo basic 8 techniques of the Bujiken, Budo Taijutsu, Muto Dori, evading sword drills, and it talks about him receiving a black belt in Budo Taijutsu when he was leaving Japan. Chapter 7, Return from Japan, talks about the author returning from Japan, replacing his 2 teachers, inheriting their equipment, and continuing on with his training. It talks about his return to nature, challenging yourself, and finding the true self. Now this is a great book. It's packed full of information on the ninja. I definitely recommend it. The link's below the video. This book is Mountainous approved.